What did they have me read? Oh, they had me read the first, it was obviously the first episode, the scene where I'm trying to convince them not to kill Xena. So I was the lawyer in front of the group trying to convince them.
Did you think you were going to get the part?
Oh, I don't know. You never really know. I think I had about 4 days when they finally made a decision to say, okay, you're going. And I packed up and moved to New Zealand. I thought maybe just for the first season. Little did I know, yeah.
Except they wrote that part for her. Yes, that was the part. Rob always had that part in mind for Renee. So it was developed for her. They still had to run all the auditions by the studio. So that was the only reason she was auditioning, but she was always the first pick.
So you guys,
yeah, of course.
So you actually didn't read together at that point?
No, but I met Lucy, what was it, a couple days before, a couple days after, at a dinner.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And yeah, I had no idea that I was going to play Gabrielle, but I remember meeting you, and you were taking martial arts lessons at the time. And that was here in Los Angeles. And then,
do you know what in fact, I don't remember that at all.
I remember that.
Was that here?
Yeah.
It must have been here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's the first
but
time
I don't
met
remember
her.
like last week, surely.
He can probably tell you what you had for dinner, right?
Yeah, Renee's my touchstone for everything.
This is from the woman who can't remember nibbling on Kevin Smith's chest, right? Yeah.
I remember that one episode, but no.
No, it just goes right out.
It's because it's planned, when it's you and the director and Kevin, we're going, okay, should we do this? You're trying to plan the shape of the scene and that the relationship should be hotting up, so you will choreograph
it's always
to be getting hotter, so it's technical.
Very
and then
technical.
You do it, and then you go, great, nailed that, what's next?
Yeah.
And now I'm really miffed because I go, I've been kissing Kevin Smith for 6 years.
That's a tough
And
job,
never felt
huh?
a thing. Can't remember it. What a waste. You don't want to hear that, I know.
I'm thinking, for Renee, getting this part meant that you were going to be moving to New Zealand, pretty far from Texas, for anywhere from 5 to 7 years. So did you take that into account when you signed, nodded your head and signed the contract and said, I'll do this?
No, as I said, I had no idea that, I thought the show would continue because I knew Hercules was doing really well, and I'd met Lucy, and I just thought that they had a sure thing. But I didn't think that Gabrielle would be tagging along for more than maybe 1 year. So,
what'd you think they'd do to her after a year?
Oh, put a knife to her throat.
Marry her off.
Yeah.
But every guy she ever kissed kept getting killed, so...
Lucky I
Funny
stayed.
that.
So, Lucy, if the situations had been reversed and you'd have to leave your country, would you have been able to do that at that time?
Oh. I'm sure...
Xena had been filmed here and you won the part.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would... Yes, I think I definitely would have...
Moved family and part.
Right. You'd have to. It's a chance. It's the part of a lifetime, and I knew it then, and now I know it even more. That you don't get many roles like that in your career.
So, seeing as you don't actually remember the dinner, maybe Renee's know the answer. So I'm sitting. There's two actors who just have a part in a series. And you sit down and you meet, and you don't know each other, and you are going to be working very closely together. So...
Actually, I remember when I first arrived, Lucy apologizing to me, saying, we will have time to catch up later. I know we will, and you'll have to come over to my house, and we'll treat you to a New Zealand cuisine and stuff like that. But she was so busy with just trying to get used to the schedule that it took about a month or so. And I went over to Lucy's, and she had heard from someone that I liked jazz music, so she lent me a CD of women musicians who sing jazz, and we caught up, and she was introducing me to some of her friends. There were Maori, who are the indigenous people of New Zealand, and they were teaching me terms that I would need while I was there. And, yeah, it was good. It was a good night. That was it.
And we've never been apart since.
Getting any closer in the future? No. So getting a series, I know Lucy's talked about, sitting in the makeup chair and crying, oh my God, I'm responsible for this show. Is that part of your makeup, a sense of responsibility? To hold a show together, to keep a lot of people at work?
Yeah. Yes. I can vouch for her.
Were you asking me?
Yeah, no, that was a you question.
Oh,
that was the Xena question.
Oh God, yes. And for Renee too. If you don't show up, those people have nothing to do for the rest of today.
Yes, but still everyone looks to the person who plays Xena, and she sets the tone for the friendship and the professional work ethic that we all had to have in order to accomplish one day. So, Lucy had no pretensions, and it was great, and I had to put that in. Yeah, so anyway, go on. Sorry.
Star show, doesn't matter who's got and it could never have been anybody else, so I thank God every day actually for Renee. So. Oh, I know. I did.
Now, the sidekick role, which was what Gabrielle was written for in the beginning, in television, usually plays a part for the audience so that the hero can tell the audience what they're doing by explaining it to the sidekick. All right? And that's usually, they don't change, they don't get any older, they don't get pregnant, they don't do anything. we never know anything. Right. When did you realize that this character was going to be a little more than a sidekick? Is there any point at which you felt that this part was going to be more than just, as so many regular television shows, just kind of a tag along?
I never really thought about it as the sidekick being like the battling bard of Pasadena. But it was just to tell the story. And how did you do that? You always need someone who could, cause all the problems and be the foil. So I had a good time doing it.
That's hard, though. I would find that very frustrating, that your character always has to be the one who causes the problem. And I think as the show went on, and as we all got a little better at expressing what was right for our characters and better at listening to the others about what was right for the characters, for the show, that it was our purpose to make sure that everybody's needs were getting met, because that would make the show stronger. And I never felt that there was a point where one person's ego was dominating at the expense of the show. Do you know what I mean? So, maybe mine. Maybe I just say that because I was the bossiest person around, but I don't know. We tried to be, have a holistic environment kind of thing.
Each of you have worked with sort of legendary actors, James Garner for Renee and Anthony Quinn for Lucy. Can you tell us what it was like working with those gentlemen?
Oh, he was hot. Tony Quinn.
And James. Whew. Yeah.
In other words, you had a love scene with Anthony Quinn, right?
He was hot, actually. He was.
James was actually really funny.
Someone was always fanning him down.
Yeah, it's funny.
But when you're 72 and you're kissing some 24-year-old, it's got to work up a sweat. So.
Did you go home and tell your mom, guess what I'm doing next day?
It never occurred to me because who he was.
Really?
Well,
he wasn't as popular
Quinn,
down there?
Oh, no. He's a legend everywhere, but I was 24 and stupid. What did I know?
And how was Mr. James Garner to work with?
I remember that he had this dry wit while I was working with him, and it actually set me up for living in New Zealand, because at first I took everything very literally. What's that? I took everything very literally. All the jokes just went, are they serious? I don't really know. Yeah, so I got the hang of it after a while. And now I can give it back. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Boy, can she give it back.
I'm living with one, so I learned how to,
wrangle them.
Yeah, wrangle those jokes in.
Renee went to a professional children's school when you were young, did you? Is that correct?
Professional children's school.
To be a professional child?
Oh,